Shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashami Havashai, Waharakah Kadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And yo, this is crazy. This is why we tell you when these goofy Christians try and shame you for speaking the truth in the scriptures, for keeping it real, right? Don't allow them to take the moral high ground, right? And pretend to be virtuous. Oh, love. Yeah, them man about all the love. Oh yeah, but then you look at their actions. You look at their history and you look at their current actions and you look at the energy that they put forward, and you start seeing, hold on, them man ain't got the same energy. They're hypocrites, biased, because this guy Vocab Malone, he made a statement that the Hebrew Israelites were the worst group on the planet Earth. Hell, we worse than the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church has got millions of little boys' anuses hurting. Unprecedented levels of child molestation in the Catholic Church, but we're the worst group ever, and always looking for an opportunity to try and demonize us, looking for anything, looking for anyone part way related to the ministry to cast us in a negative light to the world, like we are a problem, we are a threat. And when we say that the Edomites and the other nations, we hate them, and rightfully so, it's righteous indignation, the Most High hates them, and there's judgment coming for the acts they've committed against our people in righteousness, as it is written, he that leadeth into the captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. When we show forth our patience and faith towards what the scripture says, he wants to demonize us. Meanwhile, you got a bunch of people calling themselves Jews who are rape, pillaging, and murdering in the name of being the Jews, yet most of them don't even believe in God or the Bible, and he ain't got nothing to say. In fact, he will come out and defend them. It's crazy. When this whole thing happened October 7th, he was quick to do 3 live streams defending the Israeli state. He didn't want to deal with no scriptures, didn't want to deal with no prophecy. He was just justifying the actions of the IDF. Only justification. But when it comes to the Hebrew Israelites, nothing we do could ever be justified. We could never do what these people are doing. He'd be on TV condemning us. Alright? But it's okay, because that's how it's going to be. This is Job 20:5 says that the triumphing of the wicked is short. See, he's in a position where he could be the hypocrite. But it's only for a short amount of time. His time is almost up. But I'm telling you, do not be shamed by these goofy Christians. We are not the villains. We are not the guilty ones, and we are not the villains. We're not the bad guy. So don't be ashamed to stand for what is right, to stand for our faith. Because these JOOs are the most shameless individuals on the planet, and these men ain't got nothing to say. Vocab ain't got nothing to say. Let's listen to this. This is crazy.
Being questioned about this on Sky News, Dan Nahum. Now, she's been asked about the mass graves currently being uncovered in hospital grounds in Gaza, with hundreds of bodies being dug out, including women and children.
Them man are creating mass graves in hospitals. Vocab Malone ain't got nothing to say. Blowing up churches, all kind of crazy blowing up food aid workers. Vocab just like, yeah, that's cool, but what about these Israelites? What about these Hebrew Israelites? They're violent, they're a threat. they're a danger. Or
reportedly, and bodies with catheters and medical tubes sticking out, otherwise known as patients.
Patients in the hospital killed, executed, and piled into a mass grave. But that's okay. That's all right, because, you know, they could do that. We can't stand with Bibles on the street, though, and teach the gospel and condemn the wicked, because we're the bad one. We're the bad guys. We're the threat for doing that, yeah? We're the ones that ain't got no love. These men have got mass graves.
People in medical gowns clear evidence they're medical staff. Crucially, reportedly signs of torture, people shot in the head, bodies with their hands tied behind their backs. Now let's just listen to Fleur Hassan Nahum being questioned about this.
These men are killing people with their hands tied. That's straight up execution, which is against not my war crimes. I didn't come up with it. Esau came up with that. It's a war crime to kill prisoners. Prisoners of wars, to execute them is actually a war crime. Esau came up with that. But we told you about Esau Edom. He's a hypocrite. He'll set a moral standard and break that same moral standard because he's a demon. He ain't got no principles that he stands on, but he's quick to want to make you guilty. Oh yeah, the Bloods and the Crips and these Negroes are violent and the Hebrew Israelites are violent and da-da-da. But them man can do whatever they want. They could drop nukes, everything. It's cool.
On Sky News.
At least 283 corpses found in a mass grave at Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis. The UN Human Rights Chief has said he is absolutely horrified. Who do you think those bodies are?
Probably terrorists, because the ratio of combatant to innocent that Israel has is unprecedented in modern warfare. We know we've killed about 15,000 terrorists. There was a terrible battle in those areas. So the chances are...
How do you think these people died?
In gun battles with Israel.
Why do you think some of the bodies were found with ties around their hands?
Well, because we probably arrested the terrorists.
See the arrogance. These JOOs are so arrogant. They are untouchable. That she literally just confirmed a war crime on TV, and she doesn't even realize it because they're untouchable. It's arrogance. It's pride. You literally just said, she just said these people have died with their hands tied, and she says probably because they were terrorists. But their hands are tied. That makes it a war crime. Yo, hold on. And let's not forget, the number one supporter of the state of Israel is the so-called white conservative Christian. That's their base. Psalms 10:2 says, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. Which this whole thing is about covetousness, because they want to possess a land that they know doesn't belong to them. They know this. The Zionists know that they're not the Israelites. They don't even believe in the Torah. They're just using it conveniently because they want to steal with their spiteful minds. Right? The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. These men are not, they don't believe in the Most High. They don't have no morals. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. These guys really don't think that all this, they're going to come back to them. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. And that's all these guys do. And they've been doing it and getting away with it for so long. They're so arrogant that she just listen to what she just said. She just said, yo, yeah, them men were tied up. They were terrorists. We killed them. That's a war crime. But they know, all right, cool, what are you going to do about it? They say if in their heart, who shall control me for my works? They're saying, well, we could do what we want. Who's going to punish us? That's the spirit of Esau in the earth. And they're so arrogant with it. Let's hear that again. She crazy.
In gun battles with Israel.
Why do you think some of the bodies were found with ties around their hands
Well, because we probably arrested the terrorists.
and then killed them?
Well, I don't know if the terrorists fought back. I wasn't there. But all I can tell you is that this has been a very difficult.
So you could arrest someone, tie them up, and they fight back, and you shoot them and put them in a mass grave. Is that how it works? But GMS, we're just we're the problem in the earth. Yeah.
Urban warfare, that nobody on earth has experienced this type of warfare, where
There
the
we
terrorists
go.
are hiding in tunnels, where they're cowards because they.
No one has experienced warfare where, and she keeps using that word terrorist because that's part of her mischief. When you label, it's the word terrorist is the same as the word savage. They label the Native American Indians as savages to dehumanize them, to justify their actions against them. So the new age, it's just like the word thug. What they did with Jake, they call them thugs. They use thug to replace nigger because it's all dehumanization. Oh, he's just a thug. He's just a nigger. He's just a savage. He's just a terrorist. He's irredeemable. So when we slaughter them, don't even question it. Because of course, what do you do with a terrorist? What do you do with a thug? What do you do with a nigger? What do you do? They're not human. They're not people. They're not men. They're terrorists. They're not soldiers. This is what we're witnessing. The same old. These are terrorists. But so what are you? Terrorist is just a new term for savage.
Well, because we probably arrested the terrorists.
And then killed them?
Well, I don't know if the terrorists fought back. I wasn't there. But all I can tell you is that this has been a very difficult urban warfare, that
Victim.
nobody on earth has experienced this type of warfare, where the terrorists are hiding in tunnels, where
That's
they're
bullshit.
cowards because they won't face their enemy. They just leave innocent people up there whilst they hide.
Yeah, and that's the big. Well, we're killing all these innocent people because they're human shields, bro. These men are scum, and Vocab Malone ain't nowhere to be found. That's what we do know. He ain't gonna condemn this, but he all up on the Hebrew Israelites. You can't have a cookout without Vocab turning up.
Tunnels that are bigger than the London Underground, and they come out, they shoot, and it could be that many of them were shot and they were shooting in a battle, and it could be that there were bombs thrown by them and grenades. There could be a million different scenarios of why these were found, but remember, we're in the middle of it all.
I just to clarify for me, if you would, how do they fight back with their hands tied behind their backs?
Well, we don't know what they were doing before their hands were hid behind their backs, do we?
You're killing If their hands are tied behind their back, that means you've executed them, which is a war crime according to your own morality. This is
If
BS.
you managed to cable tie them, they shouldn't,
Yes, and
we
maybe-
shouldn't
and they-
subsequently find them dead, should we?
And maybe, again, we're just conjecturing. Maybe his friend threw a grenade, and then what happens? Maybe there was a missile, maybe they threw a rocket, and then what happens? Again, this is conjecture. I wasn't
They
there.
threw a rocket with their hand tied behind their back. Why was his hand tied behind his back and his friend threw a rocket? This is BS, man.
You weren't there. We can't know. All I know is that our army has the highest.
Neither was
morals.
Amnesty International.
Esau is a man of blood, and that's what you're seeing. He's just a man of blood. He is the murderer. Some covet fields and take them by force. It's nothing new in the earth. Esau's same old devil, the man of sin. The scriptures speak about coveting thy neighbor's field. The scriptures speak about thou shalt not murder. These are all sins. Esau is the man of sin. So this is how he operates in the earth.
And they say there's
سامح اي انسان بدخل الفيديو ما بتشروش الولد بعيط لابوه وبقول له انا جحان طلع الاب.
A few things there. Now, firstly, she peddles this recurring lie the Israeli state keeps feeding us, an unprecedented.
Yeah, so this is crazy, man. But you see, that's why we told you got to stand firm on your thing. Stand firm on your thing and trust in what the scriptures say. And if you're, let's get this scripture real quick. If what you're speaking and what you believe and what you have faith in is according to what is in the scriptures. Don't ever let no man try condemn you or shame you for it. Especially not the so-called white man. Especially not Vocab Malone. Oh, love. What about love? What about love? What, bro? Yo, don't listen to these guys. This is a scum. Yeah, hypocrites. Romans, not 11. I want 12. Romans 12:2 says, and be not conformed to this world. Right? He wants you. Vocab Malone just wants you to conform. He could do what he wants to do. You got to do what he wants you to do. That's how it is. Yeah? And be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And part of the renewing of your mind is to hate Esau, Edom, and these other nations righteously. There's nothing wrong with that. Desire their downfall, desire their destruction, desire their enslavement. This is straight up and down. There's nothing wrong with that. Because it's in the scriptures. The scripture says we're going to be happy. That's in Psalms 149. When we execute the judgment. It's our patience and it's our faith. We ain't going to back down from that. Nah, no way. You can go suck your mother. That's what you can do. Yeah, that's what you can do. Because we ain't backing off from that. We're not going to love you just because you want us to love you. But meanwhile, you show us hate. No, it's not going to work like that. We're going to hate who we want to hate. We're going to hate what we want to hate as long as it's justified in the scriptures. If it ain't justified in the scriptures, then we're wrong and we shouldn't do it. But if it's justified in the scriptures, we're going to go with what the scriptures say. That's why it says the renewing of your mind that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. We got to go according to the will of the Most High. We ain't going according to the will of Vocab Malone. Because the will of Vocab Malone got them Palestinians over there getting skin peeled. And he ain't got nothing to say. But we can't even speak out the Bible or we're the worst group on the planet Earth. Suck your mother, my you. That's what I say. Go do that. Because that's what you're good for. Yeah? And don't ever come up. Listen, I warned you, man. If you ever come to London, don't come to us. Because the only conversation we're going to be having is about them JOOs over there. Don't say nothing about me. I ain't killing no one in the earth. And I ain't causing no one to be killed. No one has ever killed no one because of nothing I said. That's what we do know. Yeah? So if you want to talk about love and all this stuff and hate, let's talk about hate. Because the Zionists, don't they have hate for the so-called Palestinians? Didn't they call them Amalek and they need to be eradicated and destroyed? Isn't that the rhetoric they preach over there? Are they not? Is it not apartheid state? Is it not openly racist over there? But you ain't got no problem with that, do you? You ignore that.